Welcome to the Hustling podcast. Today we are joined by Jason, CEO and co-founder of Bevz. Hi there, Jason. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thanks for joining us today.
Of
So,
course.
want to kick off the conversation with just finding out a little bit more about Bevz. I mean, Bevz already is kind of suggesting what you guys are all about. But for folks at home who might not be familiar, please do tell us more about the work that you guys do in the platform and maybe the origin story as well. I'm quite interested in that.
Yeah, so our name is a little misleading given what we're doing today, but it does tie to how we started. So I'll start there, which is we actually launched in January 2020, right before the pandemic, as an alcohol delivery marketplace. So think DoorDash, but only for liquor stores and convenience stores. That's where the Bevz name originated. Business went quite well, right? We launched in a pandemic when a lot of people were ordering alcohol and snacks online. But the fast forward to what we're doing today is once we were in market for about 8 or 9 months, we talked to all these convenience store owners, liquor store owners, and what we realized was they needed a lot more help with the way they manage their inventory in their store. They didn't really need another delivery app. And so we spent 2021 pivoting, 2022 relaunching. And to answer your original question, what do we do today is we are a SaaS platform helping convenience stores stock the products that their customers want and then easily sell those products in store and online. And how that works is we're building API and EDI integrations with their distributors where they buy their snacks and drinks, with their point of sale system where they sell in store, and then with all of their e-commerce and delivery apps like DoorDash, Grubhub, etc., how they sell online, kind of connecting the dots with everything they buy and sell.
Cool. Now, of course, now you sort of mentioned you guys pivoting, right? I'm interested in because obviously the sort of the business model changes, which means that also the audience kind of changes and the market kind of changes. How did the traction look like from when you guys went from being a delivery app to now sort of being the SaaS platform?
Yeah. So as part of the delivery app, our revenue model was a percentage of all transactions that went through the system. So transaction wise, we were looking pretty good. So we hit about 1,000 delivery orders per month in mid 2020. But when you're only taking a small percentage, revenue wise was still quite minimal, and we were spending a lot of money on marketing and promotion, paid digital. So even though we were seeing the progression, we were losing a lot more money on growth as a part of that sort of business model. As part of the pivot, things had got a lot better. It was a slower uptick, right? It's easier to talk to people in the world about alcohol delivery app, right? It's like one app, download it, use it. We were shifting the narrative and talking to convenience stores about being a more holistic solution. So the ramp up was actually quite tough in 2022. We started off offering it for free. We piloted it. But once we got this into stores, stores started to use it. They started to boost their revenue, save time. We hit sort of a flywheel effect. And then so since then, business model is much better. It is cheaper to operate. It is adding more value to a specific customer. Marketplaces are really hard, right? You had the convenience store and you had the consumer. Today we have one customer. It is the convenience store. And so today we figured out a model to really scale this thing up. It's sales driven. And so since end of 2022 and all of 2023, we've seen about a 19% monthly growth. So we are adding stores literally every day and trying to just bring on as many convenience stores across the nation as we can.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I mean, I'm now interested in what sort of the ultimate goal and vision for the platform.
Yeah. So today, as I talked about earlier, we're really more focused on the inventory specific details. What do they buy? What do they sell? And how do we automate that? As we're growing and really looking big vision, I think it's two things. One is we are looking to go global eventually. Our sort of target goal is to have 25,000 convenience stores using our platform. As part of that goal, there's two things that we really envision us being able to do. One is a data play. So once we know what these stores are buying and selling at a hyper local level across the nation and eventually the world, we can really influence the way snacks and drinks are bought and sold at that hyper local level. And to us, we see that as a win for everyone. You're a customer, your stores will have the products you actually want. If you're a retailer, you could have the right products in stock at the right time. And if you're a distributor or a brand, you start to really know what's selling, why is it selling, what is it selling with. So this vision around having real-time hyper-local data is sort of vision number one. And vision number two is becoming the full operating system for the store. So obviously, the core business, you're a convenience store, you buy items, you sell them, but you still have internet and phone, you have payroll and people you have to hire and manage, you have refrigeration costs, you have security is a big issue. So we want to bring that all together and be sort of the single operating system for all convenience stores to manage their entire business.
Sure. I mean, of course, with scaling and growing, it comes with unique challenges and of course, new projects along the way. I want us to change gears and get into that. I mean, of course, this is a unique sort of solution and platform, so it probably does come with different challenges. What kind of unique challenges are you guys tackling at the moment? And I mean, even projects that you guys have where you might see yourself sort of needing extra hands and different skills to sort of plug in?
All sorts of challenges and lots of areas that we need help with. So one of the key areas that we're finding, and we just filled a role on this, but I still think it's an interesting one worth bringing up, is we sell primarily to independently operated and small chain convenience stores. So we have a lot of individual customers, whereas if you were selling to enterprise, you might have 5, 10, 20, 50. We have hundreds and hundreds of individual customers with all different opinions. They have holistically the same opinion, at least to be working with us. But we just brought in actually a product director to come in and really look at what the customers need and want, where they're going, bring that feedback in, because we're finding it very challenging to build the next set of features that really move the needle for so many individual customers. So that's one, less of what I would be looking for from sort of the broader community, but still, I think an interesting one. A second one that's really top of mind for me right now is we figure out how to acquire stores through direct sales. It's part inside sales, phone calls, part outside sales, physically visiting stores. As we're scaling, if we want to scale faster, lead generation is something I'm really interested in bringing more support in. Today, our sales force is primarily tasked with finding their own leads and closing those deals. So I'm looking for support or help with the ability to bring in leads for our salespeople to close those deals. So that could be marketing more general. It could be paid digital. It could be organic social. It could be web, SEO. I don't really know yet. We've tested a few things. They all work a little bit, but I haven't really cracked the code on it. So lead generation is a big one for me. We're also hiring customer success roles right now. I don't know when this will air, but we will be hiring more customer success roles for sure. So doing either inbound calls that come into Bevz, outbound onboarding support, and then now we're sort of, as we scale up, looking at what I would call like activation. So getting our stores to understand the product, use more of the features, be more actively engaged will be roles we're definitely looking at over the next foreseeable future. I could pause there. There's a lot of other things that we need help with, but those are sort of the three that are hot on my mind right now.
Sure. I mean, I'm thinking now because I mean, you sort of mentioned quite a lot of exciting things earlier on, just around. I'm always interested when business sort of pivot, especially in a space where we're seeing a lot of digital technology sort of come in and sort of disrupting the space. What's the future looking like for Bevs? Is there a possibility of another pivot, or is this now more of a, how do I put it? Is this more of like the lane that you guys are sticking in, and more sort of building around it? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I think there could be a pivot on the horizon. I think right now, the way I see it is the lane and the vision is going to remain the same, I think, for the long term. I have been asked whether we would go to like adjacent industries, pharmacy or bar and restaurant, things like that. I think we provide the most value by staying vertical specific. And I think the industry is big enough for us to stay there. So where I do think we're going to pivot is the way we get there and the how we get there. So what we predicted, right? Today we're integrating with distributors, we're integrating with point of sale, we're integrating with e-commerce and delivery. We think that is the next steps. We're starting to get inklings that maybe that's not the right process for us to get to the final vision, right? Maybe there's a future where instead of having sort of specific POS API integrations, maybe we merge with a POS company and we sort of are a POS together, or maybe as part of these distributor integrations, there's an easier way for us to get the information needed for the store without building all these integrations. So I think for now, my short answer is vision stays the same, lane stays the same. I'm almost positive the exact process we think we're going to do is not going to stay the same as we learn what the customer in the industry wants. But we want to keep chipping away at this sort of vision of being the operating system for convenience stores.
Sure. Jason, thank you so much for your time. But before I let you go, for folks who want to learn more about these opportunities, where can they find you guys online?
Yep. So you can go to bevz.com. That is Bevz with a Z. So BEVZ.com. We have information there. We have a careers page so you can see our jobs and postings. And I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. Our company is not as active as LinkedIn as maybe we should be, but you can add me or follow me on LinkedIn. I'm posting at least a couple times a week about Bevz, the industry, roles, opportunities. So reach out there.
Cool. Thank you so much, Jason, for your time.
Thank you. Bye.